What's going on, guys? So in today's video we're going to be having some fun with this 2019 GMC Sierra. I know you're probably here to see the 24s on it, but I wanted to check it out in its stock form and really give y'all a good look at how cool this truck is. It's got a ton of cool features and I have really grown to like this thing. It's very similar to my old sterling gray Mustang. And dude, it looks freaking sick. All the chrome pieces on here, very nice. Little color match pieces like the shark fin and stuff. Genuinely changed my mind on the GMC body. It's got all the nice little features of all the safety stuff and convenience things. It's got the multi-pro tailgate, which is actually pretty cool. I've used it a couple times now. As gimmicky as it is, it does have some nice features that do allow you to, you know, do some things differently than you would have to finagle if you had a solid tailgate. So it is pretty cool. It's got this super nice roll and lock bed cover, which, like I said, is super nice. It just literally has a little tab. You pull it, it rolls all the way up into here. You do lose, like, what is this, maybe a foot of bed space, but it's hard. You can sit stuff on it. It's also nice to have the keyless entry on all door handles. That's pretty cool. I will be the first to admit, on these cold mornings, the heated steering wheel is actually really nice. Some things I've really enjoyed: fold-in mirrors. That's really nice going in and out of the garage, especially since these things are 2 foot long. Performance, and then snow, and then you got tow haul. It's got all your memory seats, windows. It has the trailer brakes. It's got a lot of cool features in here. Not sure what button is missing here. Comment down below, let me know. You know, the button to roll them all down. Blind spot monitoring. It's got lane keep assist. Charger down here is actually pretty nice, so my arm's not on it like my truck down there, and you can, you know, kind of keep up better with the, if you're watching a video. I know you probably shouldn't do that, but not my favorite color combo, if I would admit that. If this had like the darker brown seats, that would be absolutely sick, similar to the dash color and stuff. But yeah, it's been actually really nice to drive. Let's go ahead and hop in this thing while we head over to put the 24s on and talk about the 8-speed transmission that it has. Because we've dealt with mine having the 6-speed, this has the 8, and the Trail Boss has the 10. So now that I've driven them all, let's talk about how I think they compare. The truck does run out good with the 8-speed. I will say that it does benefit from the extra gears for sure, rather than like my truck that has the 6-speed. So you get a lot better mid-range. It picks up a lot easier, and as well when you're flooring it, it's able to hit those gears and not drop down low in the RPM where you're out of the power. Overall, the 8-speed has been pretty nice. It feels pretty good, a little clunky sometimes, but other than that, I would say it's definitely better than 6, but not nearly as good as the 10-speed. So let's go ahead and slap the 24s and 35s on here, see what it looks like, see if we can turn. I know it's gonna look sweet, so let's do it. Alright guys, well there she is. I'm absolutely in love with this truck now. It looks so freaking good. We're gonna get into the details about how does it rub and what I had to do to get these things to fit and everything. It's also a very crisp 27 degrees this morning here in Alabama, so that's why I'm bundled up. It's freaking cold, but dude, I had to get out here and film this video this morning. This thing looks so freaking good. And these things were surprisingly not much taller than the stock tires that were on here. Dude, with these things, it looks so freaking good. And I am eager to get out and drive this thing and see how the 8-speed reacts with the 35s. It's funny, these coming off of Larry, they looked absolutely insanely huge. And then onto here, they fit the body style extremely well. They don't look too large at all, in my opinion. And this is a stock 2-wheel drive truck. I'm super surprised. And honestly, this big setup makes me enjoy the fenders a lot more, because they're kind of ugly in my opinion when it's stock. They just look a little awkward, but with these things stuffed up in there, dude, they look so freaking good. Once again, 24x10, 35 1250 Gladiator X comps. Stock two-wheel drive GMC Sierra stuffed in there with a 1/4 inch spacer to clear the calipers. So you can pick those up at Advance or O'Reilly's or whatever. And as you can see, we just barely squeak by. It actually is not as, it's not that close. Like you got plenty of room. But these won't fit without that due to the new caliper design. I think it was like $18 or something for that little spacer, and it doesn't poke it out too much to where it like looks ugly from the rear or whatever. But that's how you are able to run these older style wheels on the new trucks. So I guess let's go ahead and hop in this thing, see how it drives, how the 8-speed reacts with the 35s, and then we will discuss the rubbing issues and show y'all what's up with that. And you might actually be surprised. Well, I take it back. It's actually 23 degrees this morning. We'll goose her a little bit, see what's up. Pretty decent. It's so weird being in something so quiet. I'm totally not used to that. Like, these trucks are extremely refined as far as the engine sound. I will say the tires are pretty dang loud in this truck. I just had a thought while I was saying that. It's probably because my truck is also so loud that it kills out some of the tire noise, and this thing is absolutely silent. The only thing making the noise is the tires. I bet that's what it is. So when accelerating, it's showing our fuel economy at 7 to 9 miles per gallon, which, I mean, it's gonna be low whenever you're accelerating. So we're in 8th, cruising. It's showing 16 right now, which I wouldn't be surprised. These trucks do get good fuel economy, and this one being two-wheel drive, it is lighter. I could see it averaging between 18 and 20. Oh, sweet goodness. We made it. We made the turn with no rubbing at all. That was a little scary. Genuinely so impressed with this truck's ability to run this wheel and tire setup. Sound really doesn't change whether the wind is down or up. It's the same kind of tire roar. All right, let's give it the sauce. Out pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. It does run out pretty good, and it's especially weird, like I keep saying, with it being stock and the engine being really quiet as well. You just hear the tires wind up, and it's pretty funny. 55 miles an hour with 35s. We're cruising at like 1200 RPM. What's the mid-range like though? Let's see. We're gonna slow down a little bit. I'm just gonna give it like half throttle, because that's where my truck lacks some mid-range. We'll see if the extra gears help this thing. Okay, so it was a little dead zone right there when it jumped to 2, but then it jumped to 3, and picked it up pretty good. Still no rubbing. Still haven't rubbed. That's awesome. All right, so time for the big question. Does it rub? And if so, how bad? So, yes, it does rub, but surprisingly barely. So right here, I don't know if y'all can see very well. You see how this is angled? So it comes straight out and then cuts back in. Totally fine. We shouldn't rub on the control arm. If you didn't have to run that little 1/4 inch spacer, it probably would slip right in there and not even rub at all. But let's go ahead and roll this guy down and we'll check it out. You're turning, get to right there, that's where it's rubbing, and then you basically can go past it. It is barely touching, but if you were to trim that like at all, you would be totally fine. Let's go check the front. I'm very confident that it's not even remotely close to touching anything. Yeah, see, we're totally fine. I'll pull it back and show y'all that it's not close to touching that. See, okay, it's gonna be straight by the time you turn it back anymore. So I guess let's cut it back this way. That's almost that's like 3/4 of a full turn, which doesn't sound like much, but it is. So as you see, right there is where you're gonna get into it. I know the lighting is not the best, sorry. We'll go over here and show you since the tire's poked out. Front, absolutely totally clear, no issues. And then right there, where there's a little bit of mud scuffed, right there, that's where you're rubbing. So this is your gap where it's poked out. From here to here is where it could potentially rub, and then you're free. As you can tell, I have not torn the tires up. I've not scraped this up. That's literally a little bit of mud from leaving out of the driveway. Super surprised this thing does not rub worse. I honestly can't believe it. It's like meant to be. So you would never guess it, or at least I would never guess it from the design of these fenders and stuff, that these big wheels and tires could fit on here, literally stock, and you could totally drive it. Is it gonna rub? Yes. Could you trim a little bit and it not rub at all? Absolutely. I think if you put I don't know what spindle lift they make for these, but even if it was four-wheel drive, a leveling kit of decent size, 2.5, 3, something like that, I don't see why you would rub at all, if I'm being honest. I mean, that should pick it up enough to clear. But at the same time, no, that's like right at the, I don't know, maybe if you raise it up a little bit, it would be worse, because it would be like up here where the tire is fully, rather than where it's down below where it's starting to round back down. I don't know, maybe it is worse for it being taller. Maybe the easiest is being this low. I have thoroughly enjoyed this truck. Hopefully y'all have thoroughly enjoyed watching some content on it. I know another video swapping wheels and tires, but in the grand scheme of things, I couldn't refuse this truck, man. It got me the OBS able to go get a line, and I was able to put these on here, and it absolutely looks sick. So unfortunately, it's about time for me to go ahead and take the 24s off, put the stocks back on here, and return the truck. I'm definitely gonna miss this truck, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it, possibly even more than I did the Trail Boss. And comment down below if we should put the 24s on the Trail Boss. I know another video put the 24s on something, but I think the Trail Boss would have literally no rubbing and would look super sick with the 24s on there. So definitely comment down below, let me know if you'd like to see that. But with that being said, hopefully y'all did enjoy. I will see y'all in the next one. It is freezing. Got this thing, look at the heated mirrors, melting it off. Defrost. She's icy, but not near as icy as Larry. This thing is a solid ice cube. Oh no, Larry, you done lost your legs and caught frostbite. I don't know if you're gonna make it, bud. Don't know if you're gonna make it, Larry. This is thick. This isn't just a note like, woo. It's cold, it's 27. That's too cold in Alabama. Well, here's a little side comparison next to Baby Squat. As you can see, maybe like what, 4 or 5 inches, probably 5 inches of fender gap versus this, which is like a foot. This truck would really be big and probably not rub at all and look a million times more aggressive if it had some kind of lift on it. I don't know what spindle lift they make for these trucks yet, if they even make any. But dude, this thing would be beefy with a lift on it, bringing the front up. But the trucks themselves, at least on this unlevel ground, similar height. I know this one's up on, it's not a really good comparison if I'm being honest, because the roofs are actually taller on the 19 because it's higher up on this little hill. But a little side by side, got to show some love to Baby Squat. Larry's over there just crying, literally sitting over there smoking, the ice melting off of it. So sad. But anyways, one last glimmer. Goodbye, GMC.